On these lips, you'll cut about a 1/4 inch of the lip all the way around, separating the lip and the hide. That way you got something to tuck into the ear base and the lip later. But you just separate. You can feel with the razor how close you're getting to cutting yourself. If it stings, you got too close. Just go all the way around your lips like that. And the nose, you go down the middle of it, and there's cartilage and gristle in it. And you'll separate that from the skin. Just don't cut too deep because you'll cut into the nose. Just cut that gristle off because you don't need it. Be careful not to go into the first side of the nose. Just cut the gristle off. Go ahead and take all this meat off around the nose. That meat will make it rot on you, so get as much of it off as you can. And you'll run into a hole right here. It's a big cavity, and I guess that's where in their nasal cavity. Just don't get worried, because that didn't hurt nothing. Keep on getting excess meat off of it. You clean it up pretty good around the nose and the lips, because that's a big part of your mouth. Once you get the lips separated all the way down, so you got something tucked in the lips, so they won't be growling at you. This is the way I do it. I know there's a dozen different ways of doing things, but you'll learn as you go along what works best for you. Just be careful with your knives or your razor. Once you get all the meat off, that's when you put your preservative on. Put it on pretty liberal. Kind of rub it in. Make sure you get around your lips and your eyes and your ears real good with it. Kind of work it in real good. Now that's what preserves your hide. Say, just be sure you do good around the lips and the nose. I made a little trough to hold my powder in. If you don't have something like that, it'll get all over the place. Just continue doing the whole hide that way, then we'll put him on a mannequin. We'll do the ears first with Bondo. Then we'll do the mannequin. I put Bondo in my ears like an ear liner. It takes about 2 big spoonfuls of Bondo and a little bit of hardener. And you mix it up. It turns it pretty pink. Then you put it inside your ears after you're done fabric, turn them back inside out. It falls down in your ear. Make sure it goes all the way down to the bottom. Pull your spreaders out. And you work your Bondo all the way to each point of the ear, over to the edges. Work it all over it. And that shapes your ear, makes it like a deer ear. Once you get it all pretty well flattened out, then you lay it there and it'll set up for you. And that's how I do my ears. A lot of people use ear liners, but I don't care for them. I do the Bondo. While I'm waiting for my Bondo to sit up in the ears, I'll go ahead and get my mannequin ready. I'll take a drill bit and drill some holes. So the eyes go from my ear base to fill up at. They kind of hold the eyes better, and I'll put a hole where the tear duct's going. And I hold it at that angle right there to make my lip line. The other side the same way. Go in about an inch. And I'll cut out the nose about a ½ inch. Just follow the line with a mannequin nose and they work out perfect. You gotta be careful with the drill bit though, because it'll get away from you and cut down into the lip line. You don't want that. Take your pen, get that shavings out of the lip so you got room for your lip to be tucked in there. Yeah, just put some of that ear base in it. Take a little dab about that big, and where the hose was, you kind of force it in them holes. It gives a good base for your ears or your eyes to go in. It goes in there just like that. Now on your antlers, you drill 3 holes in it, and you use pretty good sized screws, because that's the way everybody packs their deers, just by their horn. Put 3 screws in it, 2 in front and 1 in the back. And screw them down pretty tight. And screw all 3 of them down even. Then in a minute we'll go ahead and start putting them together for you. When you're sewing it up, you go halfway around the base of the horn, you'll see where the hide did go around the horn. It's got a little rough texture to it. So you'll go to one end to the other. I always go about a finger distance apart from my stitches. Just keep it tight. Just keep on going down. It's a wide cut on this neck. You go down about right here, and you'll tie it off. Then you'll go to this one, and you'll get it, and you'll take it all the way down the cut. And that's how you sew them up. Before you get too far with sewing up, you put your ear base at the bottom of the ears. It's like a bottom of the ear at the base for it, and it holds it up. Like I say, on your stitches, you go about a finger distance apart on them. And try your best to keep the hair out of your stitches. It makes a whole lot better job. The ear bases are easy to forget. You'll get to sewing and just go right on and forget to do them. You'll have to cut it back open and put them back in. Now you just continue sewing it up. Before you get too far with sewing up, you put your ear base at the bottom of the ears. It's like a bottom of the ear at the base for it. It just holds it up. Like I say, on your stitches, you go about a finger distance apart on them. And try your best to keep the hair out of your stitches. It makes a whole lot better job. The ear bases are easy to forget, because you get to sewing and just go right on and forget to do them. You'll have to cut it back open and put them back in. Now you just continue sewing it up. I cut the end off Mama's broom and put a finishing nail in the end of it for a pin pusher, and it worked real good. You put a pin on each corner of the eye and you push them in out of sight. You put one on each corner and put a pin in the tear duct. Don't push it all in, because you got to pull it out later, but it'll just hold it in place. And every day you'll kind of work with the eye to make sure it opens up okay. About the third or fourth day, you'll take your fingernail and slice an eyelid on it with out there like that. I'll do it when it comes time, and I'll show you. On the lips, you sand it down with a rough sandpaper. You make it kind of texture of it, a little not smooth. And you take a 2-part epoxy. It's epoxy adhesive. And you put it around the lips. It kind of helps it, makes it bond to them better, and they don't pull out as bad. Because when they start shrinking and drying, they'll pull out. You get a lot of pressure on your pins pulling. You go right to the corners where the lips was. You take a T-pin, put it right in that corner. The corner of your lips and the corner of your mannequin. And you push that plumb in. Do the same thing on the other side. Go straight to that corner. That way you know you got your corner of your lips right. Then you start tucking your lips in that little groove you cut earlier. You go all the way around, tucking your lips in. And you come back with the bottom one, just tuck it right in there too. I got a little too much lip on this side, I could cut some of that off. On the nose, you push all that cartilage or what's left on the nose into the grooves you cut. And you'll put a pin in the corner and push it plumb in outside on both sides. It holds the nostril right. Like I say, every day you'll have to just kind of work with it and make sure everything stays where you want it. But it's starting to come together. When you get everything on the face right, you turn him upside down and get the brisket in line. When you get it in line, I take T50 steeples and just tape it where I want it. You go all the way around the deer hide that way. Just point it where you want it. When you go all the way around the deer hide, then you'll cut off the excess. There's no point in having that because it's not needed, so you just cut it off and throw it away. After you get his eyes and his mouth put together, then you turn him where you back up and look at him and make sure his ears are right. And you mold that ear base for the base of the ear. You position them forward the way you want them. You just got to keep going over it, make sure everything stays where you want it. Always put dentist tongue depressors on each side of the ear, on the very ends of them. So that's where it's real thin, and my bondo may not have went out there, so it keeps them from curling up like a tater chip. But now you'll just have to go back to him every day for a couple weeks. Make sure his eyes stay right, and his ears, and his nose. His nose will open up more. You see more of a hole when he dries, and make sure his mouth stays in. And I'll go through a couple processes as he's drying to show you. Then when he's dried out, we'll clean him up and paint him and put him on the wall.